Hey YouTube, what's up? I'm Deep Fried and we're going to react to a video from Cold Eastwood about what's the difference between what's Sony planning for the PlayStation 6 and Microsoft for the next Xbox. So we reacted before on my channel on this Xbox Vision where we gonna have this basically PC that will not only play Xbox game but also all the PC games, Steam, Epic and so on. And now he made a new video also showcasing what Sony has planned. So yeah, I'm really curious. If you're also curious, let's stay on this channel and let's get into it.
The next generation Xbox and PS6 hardware specifications have just leaked. Microsoft and Sony plan to build two wildly different consoles that offer a major difference in graphics performance and access to games. PlayStation's next generation approach will surprise you, and what Xbox has in store for millions of fans will change the industry forever.
It's a nice intro.
Trusted leaker Kepler L2 and Moore's Law is Dead, a YouTube content creator, have dug into AMD's hardware leak documents, testing and the planned roadmap, and partnerships across PlayStation and Xbox working alongside.
I think that's where the information is coming from, because AMD is making the chips both for Sony and for Microsoft, so it has all the information.
AMD. There is a monumental difference between the PS6 and the next Xbox console. We will break down each side by side, the differences in performance and capabilities of these next generation consoles. YouTube content creator Moore's Law is Dead has broken down the first batch of hardware leaks for the upcoming.
Oh my god. He's called Moore's Law is Dead. So the content creator Moore's Law is dead. Oh my god, he died, but he still did a video. My bad. Shout outs.
PlayStation 6. Some of his information has been proven credible, some has been questionable, but the specs are coming directly from a document associated with PlayStation, the PS6, and hardware proposals with Sony as far back as 2023. The PS6 is slated for 2027 or even as late as 2028, according to Mark Cerny and AMD documents.
Okay, so what happened last time? I think Sony actually didn't want to even release the PlayStation 5 when it did, but they had to because Microsoft was releasing their new console. And then they just were like, okay, fuck it, we're going to market. And I think in this next time with PlayStation 6, they are probably trying to take the time to get it perfect. But, I mean, who knows? When the Xbox releases, maybe they feel again they have to do something.
PlayStation plans to build a traditional console, far more affordable than ever before, with compatibility with PS4, PS5, and next-generation games only. But Xbox has a different approach, with their next-generation first-party console coming in 2027, but Xbox actually plans to start next-generation early at the end of 2026, with a partnered third-party console like PC Hybrid Box, much like the Steam boxes for PC we saw last decade. But today we're going to talk about the Xbox first-party console in 2027. This Xbox console.
So that's what we heard last time. Next year, they're gonna release an OEM Xbox, where actually PC manufacturers gonna produce this Xbox. And then the year after that, the official Microsoft Xbox will come. So that's what he is focusing on now.
We'll have access to over 6,000 Xbox Original, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Series games, as well as millions of PC titles launching directly in one place. A shocking revelation is that Xbox's next console will also play over 50 of PlayStation's tentpole, formerly exclusive first-party games that are.
Yeah, because they're on Steam. It plays Steam games, it plays PlayStation games that are on Steam, yeah.
Available on PC, and PlayStation has also started an initiative to put some of their games directly onto the Xbox console. Just in games alone, the next generation Xbox console offers far more games than the PlayStation can. Let's talk about the architecture. The PS6 is based on AMD's upcoming RDNA 5, and Sony is using this gaming version of the architecture which RDNA 5 is 5 to 10% faster in performance per clock lift and 65% faster than the current PS5 Pro. The Xbox is using AMD's upcoming UDNA 5, equivalent to RDNA 5, and this is a unified architecture that merges PC and console architecture, more optimized for AI, and developers won't need to optimize separately for RDNA and other architectures. It'll be one unified platform. This is a 3-generation upgrade from the current Xbox Series X. The PS6 is set with a lower power draw at 160 watts compared to the PS5, which runs at 190 to 220 watts.
That's always incredible to me. Like the new same in the PC space, right? It has more power, but it needs less power. Shit, why is it both called power? More processing capabilities, but it's taking less. It's called power, right? Strom, less power from the plug.
Xbox's next generation power draw wattage is unknown at this time, but it'll likely be much higher than the PS6 when you take a look at these specs in just a moment. The PlayStation 6 is targeted to be a lower power and affordably lower priced console, somewhere around $500, and is better than the PS5 Pro, while also less expensive. PlayStation is majorly concerned with early adoption from PlayStation 5 to PS6, even holding some customers back on PS4. And due to the $100 price jump they saw moving into the PS5 and with a $700 PS5 Pro, Moore's Law believes that the PS6 could be priced to sell and priced to move people up at around $500. Previous reports of the next generation Xbox PC console hybrid being as expensive as $1,000 to $1,500 were likely a mass exaggeration and misunderstanding. And after seeing leaked reports of the $800 Asus ROG Ally X handheld, it's more likely that the next generation Xbox will be priced anywhere from $800 to upward near $1,000. One of the reasons for the higher priced Xbox is the profit margin position that Xbox will be in next generation, with the half-life adoption rate being somewhere around 15 to 20 million units of next generation consoles sold by the end of this next generation, especially with Xbox also offering a third-party console just before they release their own.
I mean, I think they probably accepted cannot compete with PlayStation in terms of console buyers. So instead, trying to compete with PC manufacturers, right? So do you get this gaming PC or do you get the gaming Xbox? So that's probably what they're thinking, then pricing it higher for PC gamers. We will see if that works out.
The CPU in the PS6 has an 8-core Zen 6 processor compared to the Zen 2 of last generation, with a high possibility of multi-threaded to 16. This is the same core count as the current PS5, but will have a much higher frequency and better performance clocks. The Xbox next generation console will have 11-core Zen 6 with 3 Zen 6 and 8 Zen 6C cores.
Okay, a lot of numbers. It's gonna be powerful. I also have no way of processing that information.
Likely functioning as something as simple as 10 cores with 20 threads, compared to the PS6 with 8 cores and 16 threads, with possibly very similar clocks and frequency for instructions and draw calls. The extra cores on the Xbox will afford better enemy AI physics simulations and higher frame rates above the PS6. The PS6 is using a Navi 5 graphics engine built on the 3nm process with 40 to 48 compute units.
3 nanometers, that's so insane how small that shit is.
Which is less than the PS5 Pro, but will be clocked 50% faster for more performance, leading to a generational leap while keeping the console affordable. Moore's Law believes that Sony will increase the compute units in the final spec, but compared...
No, if you paid attention, he said that Sony's planning this for... Okay, I'm asking if you paid attention. I realized I didn't. Was it 27 or 28? So Microsoft is coming out next year, 26, with this OEM console, 27 with the official Microsoft Xbox, and I think he said 28 Sony is right now planning to release the PlayStation 6. So that's what I said earlier with the PlayStation 5. They felt rushed to release it 2020 when Microsoft released the Xbox Series console. I think they weren't really ready with the PlayStation 5. They sort of rushed it. At least that's what I heard. So yeah, it will be interesting now after this leaked if they again will feel, oh my god, Microsoft is releasing the next Xbox next year. I can't do something. But probably not. I mean, they are the Platzhirsch, how you say it in English, like the leading console brand. So I think they could afford to release it later, but we'll see. But right now in the video he said 28.
Compared to the Xbox, being on a Navi 5 chiplet 3nm process, the Xbox is designed as a hybrid PC console on Windows 12. The technical specs of this console are massively improved, working 4x2x12. This gives the next Xbox far more CUs than the PS6, with around 50, all likely clocked similar, over the PS6 with about 25% more compute units, with 64 CUs overall, which is partially why you'll see the Xbox being a more expensive device. The PS6 has a shared memory pool of GDDR, why you'll see.
What numbers do we have here? So the PlayStation is the one down low and the Xbox is the upper one. The Xbox 24 teraflops, the PlayStation only 18, but both are question marks. So that means the Xbox will have 10 cores or 20 threads and the PlayStation only 8, 16. Memory, both are going for 32 gigs with GDDR7. 7. I'm wondering what my PC has. In my head it's GDDR5, but I'm not sure actually. 7 feels like, wow, are we that far? Okay. Transistors, okay, they don't have really a comparison here.
The Xbox being a more expensive device. The PS6 has a shared memory pool of GDDR7 with 32 gigs of graphics RAM at a 160 to 192-bit memory bus. This is 2 times the boost of memory, which helps with game logic, textures, multitasking, and open world games. Xbox's memory pool is very similar to the PS6 at 32 gigs of GDDR7, with the RAM in line with the PS6, which can set limitations for generation in game design, so there will be parity with the lower powered PS6. The graphics engine in the PS6 will use Sony's AI upscaling proprietary technology built off of AMD's FSR 4.0. with PlayStation's far improved PSSR 2.0, which is set to be 2 times better than the current Pro, resolving 4K-like visuals at 60 to 120 FPS. Xbox will be used.
Yeah, you need this upscaling stuff to have high res and high frame rate, right? Rendering at 4K with 60 FPS is just still not possible, I think. So you need this AI scaling, and then it really looks good. I use it all the time now on PC.
Using a custom neural processing unit with DirectSR, a proprietary super resolution software set from Xbox using AI-powered super resolution upscaling. This will work in concert with games and applications using DirectX 12. DirectSR provides a single interface that allows developers to integrate multiple super resolution technologies without needing separate SDKs for each of their chipsets.
So this is huge even for PC gaming, I think. So currently, right, either you have an NVIDIA graphic cards and then you have this, what's it called, DLS? So anyway, the NVIDIA scaling technology, or you have the, and then you need this AMD super resolution or FX or whatever they are called, I'm sorry. But yeah, so it's different APIs, and then if a game wants to support it for both cards, they need to implement both APIs. So if the new DirectX is having a common interface, so that will make it much easier for game developers, I think. Then again, the PlayStation will be like where you have to do an individual thing if you want to develop there.
Means that developers can optimize their game across the next Xbox, handhelds, and top-end powerful PCs. Rasterization is to be 2 times better than the PS5 Pro in regards to the PS6. The ray tracing performance will reportedly be over 6 times faster, allowing games using RT or Lumen technology to look wildly better than we see on the PS5 Pro. Rasterization on the next Xbox has a projected 60% boost in rendering and 2 times improvement in ray tracing over the current RDNA 2. And
okay, that again is cool to have more capability for ray tracing, because I know, Sammy, if you're familiar with what ray tracing does do, I mean, it's the idea, instead of sort of simulating light and shadows and stuff like that, like they did in the old games, to actually compute how the rays, so the light, moves and interacts with objects. So they have realistic lighting. And of course, it's still very, very expensive in terms of what processing power you need. So they mostly just use like a little bit of that capability and full on ray tracing every little light source and stuff. So yeah, I think we're still years away from getting everything that's possible there. But yeah, definitely a good step if you have more abilities. Actually, the best example, I think, for ray tracing is still this Quake RTX project. This was actually the showcase from NVIDIA. And you can play this for free, I think, the first level. And if you buy Quake 2 on Steam, then you can even play the full game with that. Because this is old game, right? With pixel graphics. I think this really looks awesome to have this ray tracing lighting in old game. To showcase how much of an effect. Okay, is that the real trailer? Okay, the classic affairs. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. Yeah, that window, wow. Explosions. Wow. It really looks like a modern game just because the lighting is crazy. Maybe someone in the video, watching the video on YouTube, didn't know that. So hello, YouTube.
And the next Xbox has more raw power than the reported PS6 specifications. Looking at the console itself, we don't know much about the design or form factor for the PS6, but it's likely to utilize the PS5 era's detachable disk drive and also have full access to M.2 SSD storage that you can...
Hold on, is it a detachable disk drive? Or is it expandable, so you have to buy the disk drive later? That makes more sense, right? Why would I want to take out my disk drive? Like, I don't want it, let's take it out.
Buy off the shelf. Xbox customers have all but abandoned physical media. Microsoft cannot ignore the need to support game discs as far back as 2001. So we may see Xbox copy the PlayStation with a detachable disk drive.
Yeah, I would call it an attachable, not detachable. So you have to buy an extra disk drive and connect it.
And access to an M.2 storage standard, as well as using their proprietary overpriced SSD plug-and-play cards.
They are overpriced.
The next generation will be unconventional, and with exclusivity becoming an outdated concept across Xbox and even PlayStation, the console will vary differently, with a lower spec and more efficient PlayStation 6 being around $500 or $600, and then the higher powered, more future-proof Xbox console PC hybrid that will last far longer in the generation, but may cost you as much as $800 or $1,000. The choice and flexibility on offer will throw away tradition and bring games to the forefront more than ever, and the hardware itself looks just as exciting.
So I actually predict, and he hasn't talked about it in either this video or the one before, but probably because it hasn't been leaked, they're gonna have a cheaper S model Xbox as well. So I can't believe they would abandon that. So that S model would probably not be able to play PC games, and be more like the Game Pass machine focus for you don't want to spend as much money, but you can play all the games on Game Pass, and you can also cloud stream and stuff like that. And then the X model will be this powerful PC that you probably have to pay $1,000 or also €1,000, and then basically have a medium end, high end PC rig. I'm not sure. I mean, higher end is usually more like 2,000, right? So probably couldn't compete with the really expensive gaming PCs, but still probably be able to play all games just fine. I mean, that's already the advantage on the PC platform, that all the games are providing graphic settings, so you can adjust it to the power of your machine. Yeah, and then Sony going with the more traditional approach will be interesting. I don't think that people are not going to buy the PlayStation 6, right? There are too many Sony ponies, as we say. Joke. Just Sony fans, of course, I mean. Yeah, but maybe some people can be convinced to get an Xbox. I'm really curious because, of course, as an Xbox player, I hope the platform continues to exist. And we're not moving completely to PC, because if this next generation fails, that's always an option, I think. Yeah, but we will see what the future shows us. If you like this video, leave a like. Maybe comment what your speculations are, which console is gonna sell better, PlayStation 6 or Xbox Next. We don't know what they're gonna call it this time. And yeah, if you are interested in seeing more reactions, also drop a sub on the channel, or maybe even watch live at Twitch TV/deepfried. Thank you. See you in the next one.